So thank you very much. Welcome back to our show. We are just having a conversation on child maintenance and custody with one and only Counsel Sheila Mengesa from Mengesa Advocates. And we are back to pick up from where we left. We were said that when we come back, we'll just be picking it on who may apply for custody. So let's pick it up, Counsel. So who may apply for custody?
Thank you very much, Elisha, and welcome back. So a guardian, a parent, or a person with a legitimate interest in the welfare of the child may apply for a custody order in a court of law.
Okay.
But you have to establish that you've been staying with this minor for a period of 3 months. Like you've been having actual custody of the minor for more than 3 months. But what I usually advise most of my clients, before moving to court to seek for custody, at least try to lay your hands on the babies, because the court is usually very reluctant, to transfer the custody of the children. Yeah.
So meaning the person with the child or the child with the children at the point of filing or at the point of the conflict always has an upper hand.
They have a high likelihood of being granted the custody of the children, because the court doesn't, like, it frowns upon interrupting the normal life of the children. Let's say if I have the children, they are going to school, I take good care of them, I'm a fit parent, and you just come out of nowhere and claim full custody, the court will be very reluctant.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically you realize if the person has the children and you want to have the children on your side, then it may not be easy, because you have to prove, you are the one with the burden of proof to court why.
Yeah, let's just say you have to paint the other party red. You have to really establish that they are not fit, that these children are not safe with this particular party.
Okay.
Because if I've been taking care of these children, they are used to staying with me, they are going to school if they are of school going age, then it will be very difficult for the court to interrupt their normal routine.
Okay.
Yes, and grant it to another party who has not been present in their life, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is, first, if you are not with the kids, try and maybe get the children.
Yeah, I don't know how to, I'm not advising people to go steal children, but what you choose to do with this information is completely up to you. So just try to lay your hands on the babies before you move to court.
Now, you've talked about laying your hands on the babies. What about having contact also with the children, in terms of, maybe, for example, you've not been in contact with the children for some time.
Yes.
Maybe you people had the children and then you went to the US or you went abroad and now you're back.
Yeah.
And you want the kids, you have all these things put together. Can it really work?
It will be very difficult, because as I have indicated, it's very difficult for the court to interfere with the routine of the children. You know, if these children are used to staying with their father, and you as their mother, you've abandoned them, you've been living abroad, let's say even for work, even if you can prove that you've been working, but the fact that you left these children behind and now they're used to this particular parent, it's very difficult for the court to transfer the custody, unless you give sufficient reasons to establish that these children, the best interest of these children are that the custody be granted to you. Okay. This other party cannot be trusted with the children.
Now, on this point, Counsel, can you just clarify the difference between custody and guardianship? Because somebody may say, fact that I'm the guardian or I'm on this point. Just clarify, custody and guardianship.
Custody relates to control and possession, which is given by an order of the court. While guardianship relates to holistic parental care and responsibility that a guardian or a parent exercises over the child. Yes. So legal custody is granted by the court, but guardianship is generally taking care of the child.
So taking care of the child,
yes.
Does that mean that the fact that you're taking care of the child doesn't mean that you have the legal custody rights?
No. Let's say if we separate and then you leave, and then you leave me with the children, or I take off with the children, I'll be in actual custody of the children. Like, I'll be in actual possession of the children. But a court of law has not ordered that I be granted like the legal custody of the children, because both parties have a right to have custody of the children.
So guardianship doesn't mean that means you're just providing
yes
support,
overseeing the general
the affairs of
yes
these children.
yeah the general well-being of the child.
Custody means you are legally responsible and
Yeah, you
accountable
have the legal
to
rights.
the welfare of these children.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe you have it right, guardianship and custody. So meaning guardianship, must you also obtain guardianship from court?
Like if you want to have the legal rights over the children, it's advisable that you move to court for you to have the legal custody, like for the court to grant you the order of custody.
So the fact that you are in guardianship, you can, guardianship is not a must that you can acquire it from court, but custody you must get it from.
Let's say that this child is an orphan, or they have been abandoned. Me as an aunt or me as an uncle, I can take over the guardianship of the children. Yes, yes.
But you have to apply to court so that you're now given full custody.
Yes, yeah, full custody of the children.
Understood. So you may be in custody or guardianship, you may be taking care of some children, they are orphans, but you are not in custody, you're just a guardian. So for you to get the legal rights and just authority and responsibility and accountability over these children, you need to apply to court so that you can be able to get legal custody. I think that's clear. So now, in court practice in awarding custody to mothers, can you just explain as far as custody to mothers is concerned and custody to fathers is concerned?
Okay. As I had indicated earlier, the court usually tends to give wider custody to mothers, especially when children are of tender age, because like it's assumed that mothers are better caregivers, like they tend to care more.
To care more.
Yes, to care more. and other factors like breastfeeding.
Waswahili husema uchungu wa mwana ajuaye
ni mzazi. Ni mama. Yeah, so like also if the baby is breastfeeding, then the best interest of the child is to be with the mother, like for them to continue with the breastfeeding.
Okay.
Yes. But in other instances where the father can establish that this mother is unfit to take care of the children, then the custody will be awarded to the father.
Okay. What if we've had very many scenarios nowadays whereby a lady, these people maybe they are living or they are separated, and a lady moves to court and begins to push for maintenance or custody and all these things against the will of the father, because maybe there are personal differences as adults, and now they bring it to the children. So basically the question is, can we maybe break it down to some particular factors that a court may consider to grant custody to maybe the mother or the father?
Okay. So when a party moves to court, the court they'll be seeking custody plus maintenance in the same case. So the court will consider like the financial capabilities of the parties, the fitness, the moral fitness of the party, let's say the environment where the party lives, and this will be determined by the report of the children's officer. Yeah, and the court will also look at the school fees. Like if the child is going to school, the court will look at the fee structure to determine like how much the parent pays as school fees, in awarding how much school fees.
Okay.
Yeah. In awarding the maintenance. Yeah, so you cannot use the child as a money minting machine, because the court looks at these factors, like the school fees, the rent you pay, and the job you have, and the court usually requests parties to file affidavit of means, which shows the amount of money you earn vis-a-vis your expenditure. Yeah.
Okay, now just moving it in terms of now relating child custody and divorce. Yes, how does, in a scenario of a divorce, yes, how does this go about?
So after, divorce is filed in a different court. You do not file a divorce matter in a children's court. These are matters that are dealt with in different courts. So after the divorce has been concluded, or the matters can be filed concurrently. Yes, and parties can agree upon divorce on how to take care of the children. But in other instances, you know how divorces go. Like when parties are divorcing, the other party starts noticing the ugliness in the other party. Yeah, I didn't know you had a big nose, I didn't know you had big eyes, I didn't know you had bad breath, and it's difficult for them. When it's difficult for them to reach an agreement, then the children's court will determine issues pertaining to child custody and maintenance in a different matter. But you have to file the case for the matter to be determined by the children's court. It doesn't mean that when you file for a divorce, then automatically the court will determine the issue. These are two different issues.
So the court will just determine the issue of divorce.
To do with divorce, yes.
Will allow you to people, each one of you to whatever.
Yeah.
But again, it's upon you now again to come and ask the court on the issue of children.
Now to approach a different court, which is the children's court. For
if you cannot agree again.
Yes, for the determination of.
One has a big nose and the other one has a big mouth. So basically, what about in the terms of losing over custody of a child? What are some of the circumstances that can bring up the issue of losing the custody? The court awarded it to you, but again the court withdrawing.
Yeah, when you talk of losing custody of the child, in most cases, what comes to mind is the mother. Like, what can make the mother lose the custody of the child? So this is this is when the mother is established to be unfit. Yeah, like if she is a menace to the child, and even in the cases of fathers, if a father is established to be a menace to the well-being of the children, and then they lose custody of the child, and they can even be denied access. Yeah, and sole custody will be going to the other party. Yeah. In other cases, they can be given supervised access, where you are only allowed to see the child, but under the supervision of an adult. Yes.
Okay. So particularly if the court feels that you're not unfit, but this has to be actioned by the other party, who feels like, yes, the court awarded this person 1, 2, 3, 4, but due to the unchanging circumstances and variations, we feel it's otherwise. Okay.
Let's say the court grants you custody of the children, and then, like in most cases, you see when ladies separate, or let's say even men, and you move to court to hurt the other party, and then you are granted custody of the children, and then you realize, I cannot take care of these children, and then you carry them and bundle them with your mother, and then you come back to the city to hustle. So if this other party moves to court, and party, and if this party moves to court and it's established that you no longer have the actual custody of the children, then the court can devise its orders and now grant custody to the other party. Yeah, so if the court awards you custody of the children, make sure you're the one taking care of them, staying with them, because the children are supposed to grow up like in a home with their parents. So you cannot bundle them with your mother, grandmother, your sister, your uncle. Yes, that is a basis to be denied custody of the child.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, basically, now you've told us a lot about the process, the awarding, the custody to the mother and the father. Can you just tell us now the paperwork? This viewer was being, this listener was being following, and he says, I have something I'd love to do. What is the paperwork? What is the procedure? How long does it take?
Okay, so for an aggrieved party, let's say you've been separated, or you gave birth to a child and you're not in a marriage
setup.
Yeah, like a slay queen, you accidentally give birth. Is it accidentally or intentionally? I don't know how to put it.
Just happens.
Yeah, you conceive and you give birth to a baby, and now the other party is not supporting them. This is for either parties. Let's say like a lady gives birth and then they abandon the child with the father, and now you are grieved and you cannot take care of the child on your own. You move to court, and I advise you talk to an advocate, because advocates understand the process well.
The process well.
Yeah. So depending on the urgency of the matter, the advocate will file the necessary paperwork. These suits are usually filed in the children's court through a normal plaint. If it's very urgent, let's say that the children have been chased out of school, an application will be filed under certificate
Of urgency.
of urgency,
Okay.
seeking urgent orders, let's say for school fees, medical help.
Medical help, or
Yes.
any other financial help.
Depending on the urgency of the matter.
Is that not child maintenance, or we are talking about just child custody?
It's both child custody and maintenance. So you can file, you file them in the same.
So maybe in this case, these children are where they are, they cannot be able to go to school, and the schools are just going to open. So you want to grab the children very fast so that you can be able to get them to school.
Yes.
So you file the matter under certificate
of urgency, right?
So that you get interim orders to get the children. You get them to school.
Yes.
Then you can now begin to litigate.
Yes, because when you file under certificate, the court gives it priority. So you will get quick orders.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the importance of approaching an advocate, because a layman will not have the
professional and the
know-how.
technical
Yes,
know-how.
And you find most of them move to court with very badly drafted pleadings, and they end up being denied the court orders, which is very sad.
So I'm sure you can hear that very clear. Please talk to an advocate, and I think Sheila will give us her contact. She will be able to tell us how we can be able to talk to her, how we can be able to just engage with her as far as this is concerned. And you've had it, you need to consult, talk to an advocate so that you don't lose a very simple matter just because you are just trying to save some 10 shillings or some little money. So just a question. Can children matters be arbitrated?
Yes.
Or arbitrating, I mean, sorting them through
alternative dispute resolution
mechanisms.
Yes. You know, our constitution encourages alternative dispute resolution.
Yes.
So if the parties decide to settle the matter out of court, you just approach the court and then you seek for time to negotiate, and then you go discuss between yourselves or your advocates. You discuss between yourself and your advocates, and then you reach a consent, and you record the same consent in a court of law. You can agree on who will be paying school fees, who will be catering for medical cover, who will be catering for clothing, food. And once you reach an agreement, your advocates will reduce it into a consent, and the same will be adopted as an order of the court.
Okay.
Yeah, if you breach this agreement, it's considered as contempt of court, and you risk going to jail. A lot of people take this as a joke, but I assure you, you can go to
you will
jail.
be taken to civil
Yes.
jail.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it a must that this consent can only be recorded at an advocate's or even at a children's officer's level?
Even at a children's officer's level.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm sure you have lots of questions and you love us to answer them. You love us to engage. You've got comments. Please follow us on Winger Talks on Facebook. And Sheila will give us her contact. You can also talk to us or WhatsApp on 0708 666 576. So give us your contact.
First, we are located along Ngong Road, Bishop Magwa Center, first floor, suite FF12. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have indicated, either party has the right to custody and maintenance. So men, do not be afraid to approach the court for maintenance. Do not be embarrassed because the child is the one who ends up suffering. So in case you need help in filing these matters, you can approach us. We charge a very friendly fees. You can reach me on 0702 918 836. Yes, do not shy away. You do not need to carry this burden on your own. You also deserve to live a soft life while we carry your burdens for you, yeah?
So how can we follow you on social media?
On Facebook, Shil Mengesa. On Instagram, at Shil Mengesa.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was Winger Talks. And see you next time with another topic. If you have a topic you'd love us to discuss, please be free to Tell us if you have a question, if you have any point that you want clarified, please just hit on us and we'll be able to respond. Follow us. Thank you. Till next time. God bless you. Same time. Stay safe. Stay sure. And Abuka Eibu. Hallelujah.